What actually 100% lived up to the hype? Neighbors chilly. Moved in and everybody wouldn't shut up about this guy's chili. To the point it was annoying to hear about. The first cold day, that fall I had it. Holy shit, now I won't shut up about it. Having your own place to live without roommates. Bruh, I so cannot wait for this. Loud and messy roommates or housemates are annoying. I live alone, and I gotta say, it's awesome, but without any incentive to clean or organize, things get messy quick. I think that comes down to the individual situation. Like if your housemates always make a mess and never clean up, that's gonna make you not give a shit either. But if you have your own spotless place, you might have more of an incentive to keep it that way. Are you calling me lazy? Joking aside, yes, I basically operate under nuclear cleaning every 2 weeks or so personally, but I can see how others might want to do it more frequently. It's about time I get my own place. Now I need to figure out how to break it to my wife and kids. That fucking kinetic sand toy, it's amazing. You form it into a ball or a mound and it stays. You squish it in your hands, and it runs over your fingertips like water. You break a chunk in half and both sides slowly ooze over itself like lava. What an easy, stupid, but highly therapeutic toy. I always wanted kinetic sand because the commercials. This comment is just what I needed to go out and buy it for myself. Try matter, it's like kinetic sand 2.0. Seeing the Milky Way for the first time blew my mind, what many don't see because of city lights. Edit, thank you for the medal. As a country kid, it blew my mind to realize that many city folk have never properly seen a starry night. I live way up in Red Rock north of Reno, and it's surprising how many people haven't fully seen the Milky Way or see Mars and Jupiter clearly. Divorcing a terrible person. The sense of relief, freedom and having my old self back again cannot be expressed in words. I would marry her all over again and divorce her just to experience that feeling again. Edit, thanks for my first ever gold. Not sure what it does, but cool. And now platinum. Thanks. I would marry her all over again and divorce her just to experience that feeling again. This post needs to be at the top for this sentence alone. Why is divorce so expensive? Because it's worth it. When I got divorced and brought the last items into my new place, I stood there for a secretary and suddenly it felt like 1,000 pounds were lifted off my body. I almost felt like I was floating. It was the most surreal feeling I've ever had. It was 22 years ago, and I still can remember exactly how it felt. The internet, in the early days when it stopped being solely for universities and government, people, media, etc., was unsure what to make of it and how useful it would be. Both Hubble and Kepler space telescopes, deep field images showing thousands of galaxies in just a tiny patch of sky, and the discovery of thousands of exoplanets that are so different from planets in our own solar system. What better could astronomers hope to find up there? First time I loaded up Google Earth on a tablet, I knew I had officially reached back quote living in the future status. Try loading it up in VR, it's this, but on steroids. I showed this to my grandfather and he spent an hour in it. I took him to the Grand Canyon and all the way through it, as well as the house he grew up in, and the house he used to live in, and to some places he traveled to when he was younger. If you have one, and have the chance, show it to older relatives, it'll make them really happy. Therapy, yeah, that's sappy as hell, but it made me feel a lot better. Still working on myself, but my psychologist is a saint, and she does all she can to help. I love this. I finally started seeing a therapist after being in denial of my depression for over a year, and the right one makes all the difference. Therapy is something everyone should try, I think. You never know what good can come out of it. Into the Spider-Verse. As a 37-year-old comic fan, it made me happy to live in this version of reality. Visiting Japan used to be kind of a weeb when I was a teen, but that phase died out when I grew into my 20s. My so and I planned a trip to see my brother and his Japanese GF just to stay in touch, even though I would have rather loved to see Florence or Marrakech instead, but boy oh boy was I wrong. Japan really brought the kid inside me out again. Edit, even though I couldn't care less about anime. Wife and I went for our 10-year anniversary. Man, it well exceeded my expectations. Amazing food, cool concepts, friendly people. We went for 2.5 weeks and visited 5 different cities. Already planning on making a return trip. Japan is an AMZING place to visit. I've been 3 times, and I'm planning a 4th visit soon. I always find new things to do and see, and I always feel safe and welcome there. People tend to think that everyone who goes to Japan is a weeb. I would totally go, just to see the sights and experience their culture. It's honestly just so intriguing to me to see different cultures outside of the stereotypes that people make. Antibiotics. Thanks Sir Alexander Fleming, Mr. Selman Abraham Waxman, Holopia, the numerous men of bacterial culture, and of course Sir Louis Pasteur. On that same note, vaccines. It's pretty badass not getting polio. Oh yeah, I remember being so hyped for antibiotics. Being healthy, it feels so good to feel good. I thought I would hate cutting out soda and junk food, because they taste so good and made me happy. But I was so heavy, knee pain, couldn't sleep, miserable most of the time. Now it's normal to just feel good. It's actually crazy to think I lived like that for so long. It's worth it to put the effort into your health. Who cares if it takes a long time? You'll thank yourself. The thing about those kinds of foods, the more often you eat them, the more, man, they become. The Instant Pot, at least for me, I use that thing all the time. Totally worth every cent, and I turned my family onto the Instant Pot as well. Portal 2. I wholeheartedly believed they could make a Portal 3, and it would absolutely live up to the hype. Well, I don't think Valve can count past 2. Sonic Redesign. The Sonic Redesign is so hot. So far, The Mandalorian. Yes, The Mandalorian is so good. I didn't know what to expect, but so far it has exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect that ending to the first episode, so I'm intrigued of where they're going with it. B-Day. The Grand Canyon. It is 100% worth the trip to see it. There are 0 pictures that will prepare you for that first glimpse. GTA V seemed impossible, but somehow they pulled it off. Flex tape, flex seal, flex glue, etc. Weird flex, but okay.